What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, man. Welcome back to another video, dog. And I don't know, man, I had really started getting into this. I wasn't about to record this thing, but I was like, you know what, man, forget it. I done pretty much ran through everything already, so I'm pretty much just gonna talk y'all to what I got going on right now. So I'm out here working on the truck. Now the crazy part is I gotta work on the truck out here in the street because I can't really block the driveway, because if I need to get my car out or do anything, or I get to a point where I'm stuck, my truck don't fit in the garage all the way. So yeah, it's gonna be a problem. So let's get up underneath this thing, and then let me show you what I got going on here as soon as I turn this light on. All right, so hopefully y'all can see here. So look, you gotta figure out, for me, I had to figure out, how do I lift the bed of the truck by myself? So looked around on YouTube and I saw some videos where people did this, where they pretty much, you know, lifted the truck up on its side. So that's pretty much what I got here. I loosened the bolts. It's 8 bolts that hold the bed of your truck down. It's an 06 Silverado. So there's a bolt there. There's a bolt right over there. And that corner right there, you can see it's still in. I got like at least 3 or 4 threads in each one of those on that side. So there's that one there, 2, and then close to the back right there, 3, and then at the very back there, 4. Now you want to take the same bolts out on this side too. There's 1, 2, and then right here there's 3, and then 4. So now I have a bottle jack that I use for the truck. I keep it in the truck, so I use that to kind of jack this up. So I had to use my jack, some quick jack blocks, and I jacked the truck up from this corner. I jacked the bed of the truck up on this side, and that got me to the point where I was able to put some more quick jack blocks right up underneath here to hold it up, to give me enough room to put that bottle jack in there. And then I just unscrewed it and jacked it all the way up to give me just enough room to work underneath here. Now, when you're messing with this fuel pump, you do have to compress this thing down to get it out, because it's really, I'm not able to lift it up enough to be able to just pull it straight out. So I have to compress it. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get the old one, and then I'll show y'all what I did on that. So let me go to the garage real quick. All right, man. So on the bench right here, this is the old fuel pump. So that way I can kind of get into, I can break down exactly, let me pull this thing out, the issue that I had with the car. So what gave me a fuel system level. It basically wasn't telling my fuel level, and it's because it was giving me an overcurrent on this right here. So these 2 wires, this is what tells you, it tells the front of the car how much gas you have in the car, and that's done by this. This is the float that's connected to this. Well, if you look inside of here, well, let me turn the light on real quick. If you look in there, there's a right here. Dang, let me turn it sideways. Maybe y'all can get a better look. So if you see in there, matter of fact, let me give me something to point to it at. There's a little piece of metal right here. Well, on this side, the piece of metal broke off. So now because that broke off, it wasn't able to send current back to complete this circuit. It's 2 wires, and it's this wire right here and right here. So it wasn't able to let me know how much fuel level I had, and it pretty much told me I had an overcurrent here because it was high voltage, because it wasn't able to complete the circuit because it was just open right here. So, but having that, you can't get the car inspected because now you got an engine error, even though it really doesn't have anything to do with drivability. The fact that it's a code is just for them to be able to send you back and charge you some money to fix your car. So that's the reason why you got to be your own warranty, and you got to fix your own stuff. So knowing that, I went and got the new one and put it in, and it solved that problem. But then that's when I got the vent error. So now to pull that thing out, you know, it sits pretty tall. So I had to compress it down and kind of get both my hands in there and slide it out of the gas tank. So that's pretty much how that worked. All right, so now we're back at the truck. So now with this ring right here, there's a ring that holds this whole assembly down, and there's an O-ring that goes around it as well. I just decided to record this after the fact, but like I said, I'm in the street and I got cars driving by me, and it's just freaking me out because people be hitting that corner kind of fast. So I kind of wanted to just talk y'all through what I got going on. It'd be different if I was in the garage, I had a shop, I can just take it all apart and y'all can see the whole process. But it's not that hard. It's trust me, it's not that bad. You can do it. It seems daunting, like a whole lot of work to do, but you can get it done. These little clips that hold this on here, on this clip, which is a brown one, and then this is a blue one on the back end right here. These 2 clips the way that you take them off is underneath down here. If you can see, right, where's my scribe at? All right, so I got my scribe. Matter of fact, man, let me get a light too. All right, so now, here we go. So, yeah. All right, so now, as we see down here, there's a clip right here. What you want to do is this is two of them. It's one on this side and one on the other side. You push them inward towards the middle and then push them up, and it'll allow this to pop up. So let me show you real quick. So what the heck? Oh man, my light tripping. So you push both of these in. Once you push them in, you push them up, and then it allows that to pop up like that. Hold on, make sure it's in, and then there, and it snaps in. This one, on the other hand, you have to squeeze these two tips right here. Squeeze these in as hard as you can, and then push straight out that way, and this one will come off too. This one comes off just like this one. So now these, it has another little clip right here. This is a little, it wasn't all the way in. Glad I looked at that. But there's this little retaining clip. You got to lift this up. You got to push this little center piece. Where's my scribe? This center piece right here, you have to push that down, and then you can pull this gray piece off. And once you pull that off, then you can push this down to pull the connector out for this one. This connector, you just lift up this little black tab right here, lift it up like that, and then you can pull this one off. At that point, this right here on this side, to loosen it up, you have to put like either a chisel or a flathead screwdriver on this edge right here. Hammer it to open it up, and it'll unlock it, because right now it's locked on these little tabs right here. And before, when I put the new one in and I used the new O-ring, these, let me see if I can show you this. This little tab right here, like you see how it's all the way to the end right here? It stopped like right there. I should have known something was wrong right then, but I just figured it was a new O-ring, and that's probably why, and I could just, come back to it and check it. But it didn't seal all the way, and I think that O-ring just wasn't quite right. So I put the old one on there, and now hammering it, I was able to get it all the way to the end right here with no problem. It wasn't even hard at all. I was hammering the crap out of it before, and it wouldn't go no further. So I probably had a problem right there. So I'm thinking that's going to resolve my issue. But just in case, I did look up and find out that this is the pressure sensor that tells you the fuel tank pressure, not the pressure inside the tank. So they said it's best to use the factory one. And the one that came with it, they say sometimes they have an issue. So I pulled the one off because I didn't have an issue with that. I pulled this off the old one, and then I took the new one off and I put this one on instead, just in case, to try and cover my bases on that, to see if this will help my issue. So now all I have to do, instead of clearing the code, I'm just going to drive on it. So within 3 cycles of, turning the truck on and driving it, and then stopping it, driving and stopping it, the code should clear if that issue is resolved. If not, this is your charcoal canister right here. I'm gonna have to deal with this, because at first I also thought that I didn't put this on good enough, but this is on there really well. This goes to your charcoal canister. This is your where all of those gases go in here. So, and this is what goes up to the front of the car as well, to try and to help maintain your temperatures inside of your cylinders. So this is your charcoal canister. This is where all of that is. So hopefully I don't have gas that went in here and it's keeping it from venting. So this is the vent valve right here, and it's all controlled by this right here, and this is the solenoid for that. So worst case, what I'm probably gonna have to do is come back out here. I'm probably gonna have to replace this and replace this, but I'm gonna make sure I don't have to yet by adjusting this. If not, I do have the manuals for the car. That's why I do advocate on getting the manuals. And I'm talking about not just manuals you can get at the auto parts store. I'm talking about the ones they use at the dealership. I always get those. They cost more money, but it breaks down the troubleshooting process where I can just check every single wire and test it, and I know what I should see. If I don't see it, it tells you to move from step to step. If I have to do that, I'm gonna take y'all on that journey too, and we'll figure that out. But for right now, I want to drive this thing around, test it, and see if this resolves the issue. So now all I'm gonna do now is just let the bed of the truck down, tighten everything up. Matter of fact, I'm gonna do all of that, and then I'm gonna start it real quick. Matter of fact, no, I'm finna start it real quick to make sure I ain't got no leaks. Make sure everything is okay, and then at that point, I'm good to go. So let me, excuse me, let me get that going, and then I'll check in with y'all and let y'all know what's up, just in case. I don't want to be holding the camera and something happening and I gotta grab and stop whatever's going on. So I'll let y'all know what happens here in a few. All right, y'all, so there we go. No leaks, no issues. It seems to be cool. But like I said, I need to take this thing on a test drive, drive it for a few days and see if the error clears. If it doesn't clear, I'm gonna clear it myself, drive it and see how long it takes for the, if the error comes back or not. But the thing is when I do that, I have to go through the drive, turn the drive monitoring back on. I got to go through a driving cycle to get it to work right, which is pretty crazy how you do it. And it's hard to do it on the road because people drive crazy and they don't drive right. You need like a freaking closed off road to be able to do what I need to do. But I know how to get it to go. So like I said, I'm gonna test it and see if it goes off on its own. Then oh my goodness, I'll update you guys and let you know where we are with it. But right now, let me clean up my mess, tighten everything down and get my butt out of the middle of the street. But so stay tuned for that update. All right, y'all. So this is like day, how many days has it been? It's been like 3 days, 3.5 days, right? So since the last time I talked to y'all, when I did the swap on the O-ring and everything. But first of all, before I get started in explaining all of that, let me get up under the truck because there's something else I didn't tell you, that you have to disconnect before you are able to lift up the truck bed. All right. So as you can see right here, there's this cable right here. You may not have to, but I would do it just in case it gets stretched and pulled too far. So you disconnect this cable, and then right up here, there's a pod of like connectors into the frame of the truck right now, and you want to disconnect the ones for the turn signals on the left and right. So that's going to be this black one right here, the one in the middle, the two in the middle, this one right here at the bottom, and the one up here at the top. So you disconnect those two. Pretty easy. Just mash this button in and pull it out, and then at that point you can lift the bed up. Either direction you're gonna go. That way, then you don't pull out any wires. But you got to remember to put those bad boys back in so that you have turn signals. All right. So I'm back in here with some fairly decent lighting. So when I did all of that before, because I thought I was going to have to get into the next thing I told you I was going to do is get into the charcoal canister and the solenoid for for the evap system. And my idea and my thoughts on it did work. So changing that O-ring and changing that the sensor, which I got it already put away. Changing that sensor helped me out. So it took, like I said, I could have just cleared the code and then see if it came back or not. But when you do that, you wind up having to take the car through its driving functions to be able to get the monitoring to cut back on. There's a process you have to do. So instead of doing all of that, I just wanted to let the code just disappear on its own without having to do any extra driving. So once it did clear, I was able to get the inspection done. Because I'm just letting y'all know today, I got the inspection done and I did pass. So I'm good to go. Yes. So now all I got to do is just go get my sticker and that'd be it. So I thought I was gonna have to spend some more money, but I don't. So that's luckily for me. But like I said, sometimes you got to sit back and think about it, because I noticed it didn't go back together the way I thought it would. And my thought process on that was that the O-ring was just brand new and I was going to come back and revisit and try and tighten it up again. All right, it may have been good just because the O-ring was big, but it did fit kind of funny. So between that and the pressure sensor that's at the top of that fuel assembly, I was thinking to myself, I said, man, I might need to change this out too. And I saw some videos of people saying that those sensors don't usually work well. You always have to wind up getting the factory sensor because it's calibrated the correct way to be able to work. Sometimes they cheap out. Now the part didn't cost as much, but they probably cheaped out on that pressure sensor. So I put the factory one back on because I didn't have an issue with that. Put that back on there, put the old O-ring on there, and it seemed like it was thicker and it fit on there. And at that point, wait a few days. I think I changed it on a Friday. And on Sunday, around Sunday night, everything started working. I mean, actually, I'm driving on my way home, and then I see that the freaking the engine light just went away. So that was a plus. So like I tell you guys, man, you guys can figure it out. Sometimes you just got to sit there and think on it, and then get in there and just get your own work done. Just imagine how much money that would have cost me if I let somebody else do it, and they probably would have charged me a ton more and changed out more parts. So that's like I'm telling you guys, be your own warranty man. Try and do your own work, man. It's not that hard. You'll surprise yourself knowing that you can get that done and you'll do more, and it becomes addicting, and then you start just knocking out your own stuff. Next thing you know, you good at cars. So always give it a try, man. So I'm glad I had some success there. So that's a plus, man. Appreciate y'all for checking out this video, man. Like I said, it's not with the ghost. I ain't did nothing with the Subi, but like I said, this is an automotive channel, so we're gonna try and learn how to troubleshoot some stuff. It kind of would have been cool to be able to dig into it a little bit deeper so we can go through the troubleshooting process, but I'm sure something else gonna pop up at some point. But I'll show y'all how you use the book and why I think it's important to get the service manuals that they have at the dealership. They cost more, but they wind up saving you a lot more because they're very detailed and they're basically what they follow. So you should be able to follow it as well. Again, thank y'all for checking out the video, man. Appreciate it. Like, subscribe, hit that bell notification, hit all so you get notified whenever I put out a video. And until that next video, y'all, peace.